Are we live? We're live. We are live. Yes.
Yay!
This is a non-stop set of streams, one after each other, and I have another very special guest victim. I like to say. I hope it doesn't feel like that. Uh, Julio de Lima.
Yes.
Julio. Yeah, it's important. I was saying it in English, in Spanish. No, 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 no. Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. Hello, amigo. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thank
I
you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. It's an honor, and I'm really happy because you were already gone and you came back just for this.
Yes.
Say, take advantage of having Julio here. Uh, Julio, I have to keep remembering to say it well because I'm gonna sleep. Um, Amigo, first, I know that you have a huge audience, lots of followers, but there's always people out there that do not know. What's the deal with you?
Yeah. I've been working in the software testing field since 2009.
Hmm.
Before that, I used to be developer. I developed softwares in PHP, for example. So it's a long time ago. And since 2013, I started to share knowledge, to start share content on the internet, and join to conferences. And in Brazil, I help the testing community by sharing content on my YouTube and also my Instagram,
Hmm.
and doing some participations in conferences. Yeah. Apart from that, I had some trainings in Brazil as well to help the community to get better in software testing and to grow up their careers as well on software testing. And yeah, basically, this is how I've been running my career and my how to say role as a thought leadership in Brazil.
That's awesome. And that when you said that you take courses, you present the courses to people. I mean, you are the teacher.
Yes, exactly.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
pretty awesome because it's a way of giving back, right?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
And 2013 you started, right?
I started to go, let's say this way, to write, to produce content to the internet.
What made you decide to do that?
That's a very good question. I have a friend, a personal friend. His name is Cristiano Caetano.
Cristiano.
There's a tool. He invented a tool, a test management plugin for Jira called Canoa.
Okay.
Then he sold Canoa to Adaptavist, and they changed the name to TM4J. And TM4J was sold to SmartBear, and now it's Zephyr Scale.
Oh.
Yeah, and Cristiano, how to say, he taught me by example that when you share your knowledge, you can grow a lot, you know. And I saw him how to say sharing content on the internet and how to say conferences, and I how to say he inspired me, you know. So I talked to him that I would like to be how to say to look like him, to be like him, and he helped me giving my first opportunity to speak in a conference,
Oh.
and that's where everything started, you know. Since then I wrote blog posts, shared more than 500 videos on my YouTube channel, you know. Yeah, and I shared knowledge and content every day in my social media.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Now I am the one that is gonna be telling you I wanna be like you when I grow up.
Oh,
500
thank
videos.
you.
Oh my god. No, I have no idea. I don't have that many, not at all. And but it's very cool that if I understood well, your very first activity sharing content was presenting at a conference.
Exactly.
Wow,
Yeah. And I
wow.
remember the subject. The subject was how to test mobile apps in the cloud.
Wait, 2013? You
Yes.
were already into that?
Yes. We had, if I'm not wrong, was browser stack or sauce. Yeah, I'm not. I will
Sauce
not
Stack?
try. Was browser stack or sauce labs?
Sauce Labs. Yeah, both of them I remember, but I didn't think they were that old. Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And but because 2013 we were that, yeah, starting to have there's an app for that and some of those situations.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And right away into you, I can tell that it marked you because you can remember exactly what was the topic.
Yes.
It's always our first time, hard to forget. And how was that experience? Like, you've never done that before. I mean, now you're an ultra veteran. You are very at ease, I guess, with presenting. How was that first experience?
Um, how they say in Brazil, we say, eu tive um frio na barriga. That
Uh
is,
huh.
I
Your belly.
freezing my belly. My belly is freezing, you
Uh huh.
know, because I was really, how they say, concerned. I was worried because it was the first time that I was talking to a huge amount of people. It was like approximately 100 people, you
Wow,
know.
it's a lot for your first experience.
Yes, in the capital of Rio de Janeiro,
Whoa.
Rio, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, in a big conference. We used to have a conference in Brazil called Bratest,
Mm-hmm.
and Bratest at that point of time already, how they say, had people like Janet Gregory, Lee Copeland,
Oh wow.
Martin Paul, they know, speaking there in that conference in the previous years, you know, and at that time I was there speaking, you know. So I remember that what made me feel better speaking was that I had Cristiano Caetano consultancy, you know, to help me to prepare the material and to how they say present myself in front of the people, you know. I had Elias Nogueira, that is another friend that nowadays is a big reference in REST test
Uh-huh.
APIs on the Netherlands. You
Yeah.
know, this make me feel good. And when I was speaking, I remembered my time in the church because since I was a kid, I go to a church where the kids need to in the certain part of the ceremony, the kids should go in front of the other people and recite a verse of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave me kind of confidence to speak in front of people, you know.
You
And
had already kind of the technique or the habit.
yeah, the habit, I would say, yeah.
That explains because first talk, 100 people with figures that are worldwide famous figures, as you mentioned, I would have been so intimidated.
Hmm.
But it's key to have that type of support. I now
Yes.
understand how you managed to go through all that and having that habit, those tricks of reciting. It's it's mind blowing. I'm still kind of like digesting it. But from there, you said you started with blog posts. Uh, did you went right ahead YouTube as well?
Mm. YouTube, or how to say, later, like,
Hmm.
if I'm not wrong, my first video that I upload to YouTube was 2019.
Oh, not that long ago.
Yeah, long ago.
Not
But
that
but
long.
I mean, but that was my channel, you know, because before that I used to produce content to the Cristiano Caetano
His
um,
company.
yeah, company. You know, he used to have a YouTube channel as well. But my first video in my platform, yeah, was like 2019, and the first video was a video that I produced to some of my um, colleagues, students, or followers in that time, you know, that had difficulty to code.
Mm-hmm.
So I recorded a video that I how to say, I named it as Java for people that want to start create test automation in Selenium WebDriver. So
That
was,
exploded.
yeah, was only the, how they say, the required knowledge that you need to write your first script.
Yeah. That's the basics. Everyone that is trying to get your feet wet on the, that's the first thing that you search,
Exactly.
and you were helping to one of the key requirements or needs for the people. I just wonder how that just became huge
Yeah.
pretty quick, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. Because at least in Brazil, we have a huge, how to say, challenge when we are talking about software testers,
Yeah.
because we were taught that testers should not code in the very beginning of this of our
No,
career.
testers are still being told that in places. So
Yeah, do you know? But then, how they say, many people has difficulty when trying to learn a programming language. Do you know? And yeah, that was something that helped a lot of people. I received feedback nowadays from people that watch that video. You know?
that has to feel awesome, right?
Yeah, for sure. And if you look at my first video, I was like, "Hello, people. How are you today?" You know, it's like really slow. You know, real slow. Yeah.
It's funny how when you look back at the things that you were doing in the past, uh, I don't know if you feel that, but personally, I never feel like I'm good enough or doing well.
Yes.
But when you look back, it's like, oh my god, I'm doing so way better than before, right?
Yeah.
It's a world of difference. And how has your channel gone? How many subscribers do you have?
We are almost getting 30,000.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we are 29, 9 something, you know?
Almost. I hope that through this we will ramp it up. Pitch it. What's the handle or how to find your YouTube channel?
You can go to YouTube and look for Julio de Lima. It will be the easier way to look for it. I tried to get this name, Julio de Lima,
Mm-hmm.
but it was already, someone already got it.
Mm-hmm.
So I put an S at the end. So Julio de Limas.
The Limas.
This is how people can reach out to me on the social media.
Go check it and subscribe. Help. We want to get it 30,000. Uh,
Yes.
how many until you get the plaque, the YouTube thing?
Um,
Or you already have it?
no, I
I think
didn't.
it's 100K, right?
Yeah. I think that will be 100. Yeah, 100K. I didn't have this yet.
Okay, a third way there. We are almost there. I want to see that
Yeah.
plate at the back on your videos.
Yeah, and in Brazil, the channel is the biggest one when talking about software testing. Yeah,
Yeah, and Portuguese.
in Portuguese.
It's very very important because and do you think it also has this influence in Latin America and Mexico? I'm doing some efforts to bring content in Spanish because we have a lot of friends that are watching us that English is not easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, my key effort is to try to bring it to whoever is having difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see something similar in Brazil that many people and you bring in this knowledge that probably is not that available in Portuguese?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I see this. Our population of software testers, is a small population of software testers that are able to communicate in English. So I see a lot of people trying to bring this content to Portuguese. One good example is Rafael Bandeira. Rafael Bandeira is one of my students and a
Oh.
friend that, how they say, has made a good friendship with Michael Bolton and James Ba. So he started to translate their posts to Portuguese. So he created a channel on Medium.com
Mhm.
where he how to say store all the articles that he already translated to Portuguese. And how to say, try to help people in Brazil to get better in software testing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's critical because sometimes the language can be a big barrier for many people,
Hmm.
and collaborating and giving back and enabling them to start learning, I think it's a huge task. I really admire that from you. It's something that I've been trying to do.
Hmm.
I don't know how effectively, but I try. And I see that you're doing it very successfully. That almost everyone in Brazil Any followers from Portugal?
I have followers and also students from Portugal
Oh, cool.
and Angola as well because they speak Portuguese as well.
It's so interesting the places that we can get to in the world,
Yeah,
right? With
yeah.
leveraging the languages. And if I may ask, I mean, 500 videos, I'm sure you have covered lots of topics, but what are the ones that you cover the most often, or what comes to mind right away?
hmm Um, so I've been trying to help the Brazilian community to be more critical instead of to just talk about testing.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of videos will be more bringing the audience to the how they say the science behind software testing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not just about say black box or white box. It's how this fits to the real day by day work, you know, and how you can use this to help the product to have more quality and use and how you need to position yourself to be more valuable to the company and then grow up how do they say obtain some raises in your salary, or more recognition for your how to say leadership,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes people think that software testing is just about go there and to click and to find bugs. We're not just how to say bug hunters.
Mm-hmm.
We are more than that. We are thinkers, critical, and we need to position ourselves to help the company to understand what is testing,
Yeah.
and these can help us to grow as a person and as a professional as well. So if you see my videos, you will start to notice that I'm always trying to how to say raise this.
Mm-hmm.
Think about yourself as a professional, as a scientist, as someone that provide value to the company, so you deserve to be more valuable, more recognized in your company.
No, it's because you'll be able to give back more to the organization, and it resonates because it's a common topic that I have heard often here at the couches or in the talks, in the panels that we saw yesterday. Critical thinking,
Yeah,
it's more important than to just learn how to JavaScript into this
exactly.
language or tool or whatever. It's a huge skill that we all need to have, and it's important that we keep learning it, like in these talks
Yeah.
at this conference. And speaking of conferences and talks, you started, that was your step one. How many that have you been presenting? Because I sense that you have been very active in
Yeah.
conferences and events.
So, let's put this as official talks and non-official talks. Okay,
Ah, okay.
official talks are the ones that I give in a conference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and non-official are the events that I promote in my channels. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so the official ones are definitely more than 50.
Wow.
Yeah, on events in Brazil, in conferences in Brazil and outside Brazil. Okay, unofficial are hundreds, because I promote some events, some small conferences in my channel that has some specific subjects, So yeah, those ones are a lot.
Wow.
Yeah,
So I count like 2013 is 2023, 10 years, 50 plus 100. So very easily 15 conferences or presentations and talks per year.
yeah,
Boy, you're busy. You
yeah,
keep yourself busy helping people.
yeah. And how they say, some people say, hey, how do you organize your time? Because if you
I'm
start
curious. That was
yeah,
my next
if you
question.
follow me on Instagram or YouTube, you will see it's a lot of content. But it's because I have a team, you know my wife, I love you, baby. uh,
Oh, that's
my
sweet.
wife is, how they say, the person that has helped me to organize my time in order to share knowledge to the community, in a regular basis. So, and I have how to say, other people that work with me for this how to say, part of content producing,
Mm-hmm.
for example, Patricia, that helps to convert my answers to my stories.
Mm-hmm.
People send me questions, I answer, then Patricia get this and convert this in a how they
An
say,
Instagram story.
carousel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I have
Real.
Otiniel.
Instagram reel.
Yeah, yeah. And then I have Otiniel, that is basically the person that helps me to get my message to achieve people across the internet.
Understand and why you seem to have more her than here because it's tough and I can tell uh, by how much you can cover and how many talks and how many places you have been. That explains it. And what I admire as well is that you keep striving to do more and do all those steps and all the things,
Mhm,
which is to give back to the people again.
mhm.
And speaking of conferences and giving back, well, here at Starries 2023, uh, you came pretty much to do that, right? Yesterday,
Yeah,
the adventure started.
yeah. I was the second to speak yesterday.
Second keynote of
Yeah,
Wednesday, first day of Starries.
exactly. And I talked about REST API test strategies,
Mm-hmm.
and I was really nervous because
Really?
it was my first time, talking in person in a US conference after the pandemic, so I was
Wow.
really nervous. But when I stepped my foot on the stage and I say, "Hi everyone, let's start by saying bom dia," and then people said bom dia. That
Oh,
was amazing.
cool.
Then the vibe was high, and yeah, I started to share. Was
It's
awesome.
it's a very good way, Bumjia,
Bom dia.
helping the audience to kind of wake up and
Yeah.
feel a little bit more active. And so so many things at the same time here are getting stuck, and we are getting
Bom
invasion.
dia. Bom
Bumjia,
dia.
cool. Our friend Tariq had to come and yeah, say hello to everyone in Brazil and Portuguese speaking countries and places.
Yes.
Really appreciate that guy. And so you just broke me again with first time out of the country
Hmm.
or just in the US?
No, just in the US. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Silly question. You live here in the US?
Yes, I live here.
In Florida.
Yeah, but it was my first time speaking in a conference here in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, After the pandemic, have you had any other conferences or
Yes,
events?
but remotely, like
That's a
Q.
big
Yeah,
difference,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Online.
yeah. Online conferences.
Yeah, it's not the same. Before the pandemic, were you doing many in person?
Yes, yes.
How did you feel after, like from the lockdowns and only remote,
Mm-hmm.
to be here with the hundreds of attendees that we had? Uh, you almost had a full room at the keynote.
Yes.
How did you feel? How did you feel any different from
Yeah, for
before?
sure. I mean, um, at the end of my keynote, I said, "So let's see each other around," and people really come, to to say, "Hey, I loved your keynote. Tell me more about this Chat GPT thing that you showed, on how to create test automation for using Python, and oh, I love that idea on how to create test coverage for REST API testing, and yeah, this vibe is so high and enjoyable. People taking selfies with me as well. This is amazing. Yeah, I was missing this.
Yeah, it's totally a difference.
Yeah,
Uh, we couldn't participate and collaborate in this type of events for a long time.
yeah.
Everything was virtual. It's not the same flavor. It's not the same feeling. The interactions, as you say, you can go and talk to people, or
Hmm.
people can come and talk to you. Because, well, if you're attending to one of these events and you wanted to go and shake the hand of the person that was up in the stage, you can. And before it was like, well, bye, close, hang
Exactly.
up, and who knows what happens after. Not to mention the interactions and the people and being able to share ideas and see how the ideas form in the face of people.
Hmm.
It's beautiful. But well, spoiling it, you were mentioning ChatGPT and AI. We have heard those buzzwords a lot on these days.
Hmm.
What was spoiling it a little bit? Tell us about your keynote. What were you
Yeah,
presenting
for
around it?
sure. Um, so the keynote was the title is REST API test strategies going beyond request and response. And the title is because I decided to use this title because people generally think that REST API testing is just about Postman and Rest Assured. You know, every time that you talk to people, you see this kind of comment, right? But it's not about it. So I started by showing people what is the basics on test APIs when people talk about this subject. Then I gave them other three approaches that is not so common, but
Hmm.
many people use. And at the end, that is the heart of this presentation, I showed 8 approaches to help people to test REST APIs. And yeah, I covered how to check logs, how to measure coverage, how to use AI to design tests, how to do contract tests, and also JSON schema validation and other approaches. But for each of these topics, I brought a video tutorial showing people how to do it in practice.
Oh,
I prefer to record because I said, oh, if I try to do it on
never do a
live,
demo live. No,
it
I
will
had that
not
experience. No,
work.
no, no.
Yeah.
I kept joking that it's the Bill Gates experience launching Windows and showing it live. I'm glad that you decided to do
Yeah.
that. I had that in the tutorial, and gladly was at the end. Not pretty, but we survived.
Hmm.
But it's great that you were giving those examples, those different perspectives and things that, as you very well said, it's not just Postman. It's
Hmm.
not just that you can build your own. You can have other paths, assertions, validations. TDD can be used a lot for APIs. So sadly, I couldn't see it. I'm definitely after this gonna check all the recordings of the
Hmm.
keynotes. I'm very curious. And thank you so much for the ones that couldn't see. Everyone watching, if you haven't registered to Star East's online virtual conference platform, please go and check. It's free. Again, I think you still can log in, check in, and check the recorded keynotes. Awesome keynotes, super deep, super interesting. Amigo Julio, before we log off, any last words that would you like to share en portugués también? Whatever you want to tell our audience.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I would like to send a big hug to Federico Toledo
Hola,
because
Fede.
Federico, made this bridge here. It's a pleasure to be here.
You
So
have been called the fairy godfather of introducing people here. He's
yeah,
very good at that.
good. Second, thank you so much by having me here.
It's a pleasure, an honor.
And yeah, and last but not least, I would like to reinforce. Try to be technical, scientific. Think about software testing as not as just small things, but see this as a big picture. The idea is to use whatever the knowledge that you have to help the company to reduce costs, reduce effort, increase productivity. So use these results to help you to grow up in your career, and that's how we can, be successful in your career, get recognition from our leadership, and grow. Because that's why we go to work every day, right?
Yeah, the most important to keep growing. That keep growing. That's if you grow, if you get become better, you'll help around you, even if you don't want to.
Exactly.
You have a good effect in the world. That's super important. Julio, great words, and again, thank you so much
Hmm.
from coming back and just coming to here share with the audience.
Yeah,
Love
for
it.
sure.
Muito obrigado.
De nada.
Okay, everyone, we're not done. This was Julio. We will keep going for a few more, and stay tuned because we have the close. I see the next interview nearby, so we'll start in a moment. Stay tuned. Thank you, Julio, again, and cutting up the stream.